Super Saiyan 4 Goku from DAIMA is here. He's the Legends Limited everybody wants. It's crazy how people switched up on DAIMA, but that isn't the point here. You need Chrono Crystals, so I'm going to give you every single way that you can get Chrono Crystals in this video right now. There's some new methods, not necessarily new, but things that have come out that are going to be new, as well as some old things that you don't know. So be sure to watch the whole video. Everything's timestamped, so you can go back to sections if you want to revisit the information on them. Let's get into this. So at the time I'm making this video, what I advise you do almost every single Wednesday, you should check the news and you'll see something new. The main two things I want to talk about is the fact that there's a new raid. So raid gives you Chrono Crystals by default. You can get up to, I believe, 1,000 with the tiny buff, which is nice. I'll talk about it in more detail, but playing raid is super useful. And they've also dropped a Hoi Poi. They bring that back now and then, but the Hoi Poi gives you Chrono Crystals as well, which is good. So be sure to play that. It's pretty much just going through and playing the game as normal, and you'll gradually get Hoi Poi, but you can use bonus battles to get Hoi Pois as well. And you just keep using skip tickets and you'll rack up a bunch of Hoi Pois and you'll be able to get all these rewards here. It's very easy to do, but you'll just be pressing the button over and over again. If I actually open the Hoi Poi button for you right now, you can see how it looks, and you can go to the details there, which is just where I was, and you just keep pressing this pretty much and you'll just keep going through. It's pretty easy to do, but those are the two main things. I'll talk about some other things more in this video. They might not have been announced yet, which is why you should watch the whole video, but just bear in mind if you're new to the game that I'll be helping you out. So like I just mentioned, we've got the raid. The raid is new, so you should play it. It gives you about 1,000 Chrono Crystals. If you go into it, you'll see that you'll be able to play. Now what you want to do is set up a team where you're able to get the highest amount of percentage of drops and then the highest amount of drop number. So if I go to my team formation here, you want to set the filter, the bonus characters is what you want to put on. You just can turn on everything, it's fine. And then what you can see here is the characters have numbers. Now there's two numbers. If you look at the bottom here, there's plus 130 and plus 90%. 90% is the percentage, the rate that you will get the full drop. So I have a 90% chance of getting a full 130. The 130 is how much I can get at a maximum based on my boost characters. So the characters you see I've got of Daima Goku who I'm using, then the support members are also a contributor to the drop and the drop percentage. Now if you go to the news, you can actually get more information on this if I can find it, because my eyes do not work. It's right here, shout out Glorio. And you can see it gives you all the information. Now what you want to do is play this 3 times a day, because the first 3 times a day that you play, you get extra drops for playing those first 3 times, which is what they call limited time rewards. But you want to consistently play until you're able to get all of the Chrono Crystals in the exchange shop, and it shows you also the bonus battle characters and everything that you will need. So that's pretty much all you need. There's not much to it, unfortunately. It's just repetitive. And if I go back and I show you the exchange shop, you guys will be able to see that you can get Chrono Crystals out of it. If you go to the top one where the coins are, you can see there's Chrono Crystals here. I'm not sure if it's 1,000. It says there's a step, so if I buy the 2, then it'll keep going. Sometimes it's 300 depending on how many raids they plan to drop. If they plan to drop a lot of raids, then it will be less than that, but it's usually 1,000. But yeah, that's raid. That's all there is to it. Just make sure you play, get your correct bench so you can get it done as fast as possible. The higher it drops, the faster you get it done. We have a Legends Battle Royale. There's one on right now, but what I'm thinking is there's going to be another one based on Son Family or something like that. This one here, I think it was based on Daima and androids, and in the exchange shop you'll be able to get 300 Chrono Crystals. So you're going to need 6 of these Legends Battle Royale coins, and you do that by winning essentially. So if you go to PvP, if I open up PvP right now for you guys, there's going to be the Battle Royale thing. This one's leaving, but there's probably going to be another one in the next following week or 2 weeks. So just have that in the back of your mind, and when you open it up, you'll be able to see that you can build a team based on the conditions. So I don't think I have the team that I was using. I don't anymore, but I was using a Android MVP 17 with Daima. As you can see, it's Daima and Android. And you just need to keep winning. For every win you get coins, and there's also missions that you can get, but you just need at least 6 wins so that you can use that in the exchange shop to get the 300 Chrono Crystals. It's not a lot, but it's something, and you shouldn't sleep on it just because it's little, as you will notice that most of these methods, they give you small bits of Chrono Crystals that will amount to a lot if you do all of them. Next, we've got soul boosting. It's one of the earliest methods of Chrono Crystal grinding, especially if you have a new account. Souls are pretty much useless for characters you don't care about, but you can make use of them by soul boosting characters to get chrono crystals. So what you'll see is, if you want to change this filter here, so the top one there to boost panels, unlock boost panels, or the bottom left, and you can just change this to everything. So hero, extreme, sparking, ultra, so everything pops up. You'll see at the top, they've got all the ones I've done. So it starts at 864 out of 864. So those are for the Zenkais. Then the non-Zenkais, I think they max out at 426. Yeah. Every time you do, I believe it's 100 boost panels. Bear in mind, for literally every single character, there's 400. For every 100, you can get 10 chrono crystals. And I believe this is all the way to 200,000. That's the cap on it. So 10, 10, 10 for every 100. And there's 426 per character, 800 if they're a Zenkai. That's easy chrono crystals. Where you can claim these, you go to your missions, and in the event section in the middle, there's going to be the Z missions tab, and they will pop up there to where you can collect the chrono crystals. And you just saw how many characters there was. What I advise, if you don't want to waste your resources, you start with your ultras, go through those. Then you want to go through your sparking legends limited, because these have somewhat use. Then you want to go through your regular sparking, so turn off the legends limited. And you might want to ignore Zenkais, because Zenkai souls are not the easiest to come by, just to put that out there. So just do the regular sparkings. And if you need more souls, so let me just revert back my settings because I like it being normal. If you want more souls, you go to event, and then what you want to do, go to the upgrade section. And I know you guys know these exist here. So there's red, yellow, purple, green, and blue. But what you want to do is only play them on the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because you essentially get double the drops, which is way more fruitful for the amount of energy that you're going to be spending if you're trying to get chrono crystals from boosting. Remember, the 4Q banner, it's going to be here until May 21st. No rush, but of course, you still need to be efficient. Don't drain your account just because you're in a rush. There's no need to rush. Now, this method here is called Z equip rolling. It gives you 10 chrono crystals similar to soul boosting, and you can just do it again and again and again. It's very easy. Now, you're going to need an equipment like this. If you're new to the game, there's some equipments specifically for, you know, Legends Limiteds. They have these platinum equipments where you're able to get 3 different slots. Now, you know, normally you have an equipment like this where you can get a percentage based number. So you might get 5 between 8%, and you'll get a number between those 2 ranges. But with these ones with the platinum equipment on the 3rd slot, you can get 1 of 3 options. So instead of it being a range, you know, it's just a 1 and 3. And essentially, because it works like that, it makes it easier to get a higher ranked equipment. So you can see here, I've got 1 good first slot, which is what you should aim for. The middle slot needs to just be all right. It doesn't even need to be a yellow or a red. And then the 3rd slot can be the lowest option because it's only a 1 in 3. And you can keep doing that in terms of using slot removers. So if you don't care about slot removers, this is the one for you. Slot removers, I know a lot of people don't care about. They don't care about grinding equipment. Even though it's important, if you want to just waste them, this is a good way to do so. So you can see here, I'm just going to do it 3 times. I'm going to set it to red just so I can just get lower ones. Hopefully I don't get lucky. You can see every single time, even though I got a yellow or a green, unless it was a red, it'd go up. But the lowest option still gives me a Z. And for every time I get a Z, that's 10 chrono crystals. Well, it's every 10 Zs you get. But yeah, it's very easy. You know, I've got 999. I had 999 chrono crystals. I mean, slot removers. For every 10 that I use and I get a Z on this equipment, that's 10 chrono crystals. Very easy. Now, if I go to the events, because you're going to need an equipment like that yourself, you go to event and you want to go to ultimate equipment collection. Now, not every character will have an equipment that has those type of slot conditions. So if I look at this Android MVP 17, his equipment actually does do that. But you can see there's some at the bottom. So if I go to the very bottom, you'll see there's some characters that won't have that. So I think this Piccolo is actually one of them. His equipment isn't 3 slot based. Oh, this is the new one. He has an old one. So let's take, let me take somebody that I know that doesn't have one like that. I believe Margin Vegeta. Margin Vegeta doesn't have one like that. And his 3rd slot is still a ranged one, but you don't want it to be a ranged one. You want it to be a 1 of 3 conditions. That's pretty much all there is to it. If you just want to waste your slot removers, chrono crystals can come out of it. Now, something a lot of people don't care about, but you can get chrono crystals every single day of this, is your friendship rank. The friendship rank, as you increase your friendship rank, you get chrono crystals off that very easily. Now, if I show you this team here, what you want to do is get a full team of friendship equipment. So I've got here 18 godly ones. 18 for the full team because there's 6 members and they all hold 3. If I actually hold it right here, you can see you can get it from the equipment medal exchange shop. Just try to get 18. They don't need to be godly and perfect like this. You can do that over time. But what I'd advise is try to get a red slot on the first slot. So 18 ones with a first red slot, and then the other 2 slots you can work on over time. But get your team like this so you can rank up characters every single day. And then what you want to do every day with that team, because the equipments on the other characters only for friendship ranks for some reason affect the character you're using, and you want to play the Let's Fight. Now with the Let's Fight, you can go from getting a character from level 1 to level 2 in just 1 fight, sometimes 2.5 or something like that, it depends. But it's very easy to get chrono crystals off that. That would be alone 10 chrono crystals, and you do that for 3 different characters you've never used before. That's 30 chrono crystals every single day. Now if you stay consistent with that, if I show you the character list, right, we set all of this, right, all of them on, and I want to change the friendship rank. You can see, don't mind the height of it. I have some characters that are ridiculous for no reason, right? You don't need to get them to 100. It's actually slower as you're going along. It's more efficient to just work on everybody and get them to 2, and you can get 10 chrono crystals every single day, close to that, even more sometimes. Just start with the bottom one, then do that one, then do that one, then do that one. The only tedious thing is you'd have to put equipments on them every single day, but it's up to you. The only other benefit for friendship rank, if you guys don't know, there's 2. 1, you can take special moves from characters and put it on Shallot, which is pretty much useless because Shallot is terrible. And 2, you can use them in Tournament of Power, which is actually very important, which is why a lot of characters, specifically I prioritize regeneration because that's the team I like to use in TOP. I'll speak on it later, but I got all my regen characters to 10, the ones that I have, missing just the Raid Shenron, and the ones I don't have, of course. But yeah, friendship rank has uses and you should prioritize it for chrono crystals, but TOP is also another method of chrono crystals, which I'll talk about later. Story mode is the most efficient way to get chrono crystals, but it is tedious, I know. But do you see all these stars? All these stars are 3 chrono crystals, every single one. It might be more sometimes, but yeah, 3 chrono crystals pretty much for every single star, and that's insane. And I've done every single one. Now what I like to show in this segment to show you that you're missing out, because story mode is really a 5-in-1. I'm going to use this one here. So part 2, there's 728 stars. If I bring up my calculator, right, 728 times 3, that's 2,184 just off the challenges. Then there's the first time clear for every single one of them, which is 10 chrono crystals, I think, which is crazy. So that's 2 loads of chrono crystals just off that. And you go to the missions, right? In the missions, you also get the Z mission for clearing the story for every single time. That's also the 3rd way. Then you get these things here, which is for your Z level up here. So then that's another way once you get another part. So that's 4 ways in 1 so far. And then there's more Legends missions, which I don't have anymore. I don't think. There should be something that says more Legends missions. I don't have them. I guess I'm done. But you can get chrono crystals off that, which is 5-in-1. Some of you guys that haven't completed the story mode challenges, you'll still have it available, but I don't, because I've done everything. That's 5 ways in 1 just off playing the story. I know it's tedious because it takes long, but get through it and you'll get a bunch. Right now I'm holding it back for the anniversary. I'm just choosing not to play. But if something happens, maybe I'll tap in. I don't even have a lot of chrono crystals myself. Naturally, in the same box of the story mode, you should go through and play all the events. But I want to specify a priority order of playing events. So events, they all have expiry dates, and not everything gives you chrono crystals as well. For example, the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shop, playing these 2 is not going to give you chrono crystals. These here might give you chrono crystals for first time clear. The Zenkai Rush battles do give you chrono crystals. There's 6 days left for that DAIMA Goku one, so you should play it if you can. The raid I already spoke about. Now in the original series, there's these ones down here, the EX Zenkais that you can work on. They don't leave, so don't worry about them. But there's 2 at the top that will leave, and they're leaving in 6 days. The Knockdown Immortal Vegeta and the Wicked Warrior Turles, those 2 will leave. So you want to prioritize them, so the minute they leave, you can play the next 2 that will show up, and they reset every 2 to 3 weeks. We have the upgrades. A lot of these don't even give you chrono crystals for first time clear, so this one does, but you don't get anything for like the challenges, I believe. Yeah. So it's not really worth it. You get the challenge for all of it, but it's not a lot. And they don't leave, so you don't need to prioritize them. And these special ones as well, they don't leave, so you don't need to prioritize them. So if you want to go for chrono crystals in the event section, start with the original series, the 2 that have timer on them, and then also play the recommended events, the one that give you chrono crystals. They also aren't here forever. Just bear that in mind. Now, PvP nowadays isn't easy, but it's the most fruitful way to get chrono crystals in the game. If it's not story mode, PvP is consistent. It comes out consistently, because once you finish the story mode, you're done with it. I'm pretty much done with it. So, you know, there's not a lot of chrono crystals for me, but in PvP, every single 2 weeks, the season resets, and if I place within the top 10,000, I can get 1,000 chrono crystals, which is super amazing. What you need to do is build one good team. So don't take from me, there's a lot of better teams. Go to one of my guides where I talk about the best teams and equipments, or the top 5 best teams of the month, and you'll get a better metric on what teams being used. Or you could just go to rankings and try to copy one of those teams. Proud Battle gives you more RP than regular. It's not here, I just noticed as well. That's interesting. I guess they took it off, or maybe I'm just crazy. I think I just pressed rating, my shit shows up. Yeah, that's how you know I don't play Proud Battle. I just be playing standard. Treasure Battle, you can get chrono crystals from it if you're lucky. So if you check goals and the item list, if you're lucky, you can actually get chrono crystals as well. And if you want me to show you the reference for how the rewards work, so if you go to ranking, number 1 gets 1,300, and you can see it's still high even if you're in the top 10,000. And then depending on where you rank in your group, you also get more chrono crystals, which is super amazing. So build one good team, watch some PvP guides, grind up your equipments, which is why I mentioned the slot remover method earlier. While slot removers are useful, you can work towards getting that 1,000 chrono crystals every single 2 weeks. It's not difficult, to be honest, but it takes a lot of investment. There's also a PvP exchange shop pretty much every single season where you can get, I believe, 300 chrono crystals, 300, sometimes 1,000. But yeah, that's PvP for you. In that same mention of PvP every single 2 weeks, we have Tournament of Power, and my TOP just reset, which is amazing. I'm going to be getting 1,100 chrono crystals for placing in the top 10,000, which is nice. And I don't even try. I just casually go through it because I have a good enough team to do so. I mentioned friendship rank earlier, which is going to come up again right here. But just for placing top 10k, 1,100. You also get 300 chrono crystals for making it to the top of the TOP board. So it's really 1,400, which is nice. But yeah, let me close that out and let me show you how the rankings work. So if I actually go to, that's my team, it does that automatically. If I go to the rankings, obviously the season just reset, so a lot of people wouldn't have played yet. But opening up the ranking, if it can load, please. And then you go to season details. You'll be able to see that depending on your battle score, you'll be getting chrono crystals. Now, what I want you to know is that this will change. This is currently the current range because the TOP works based on everybody participating. So if one day everybody decided not to play, you'd be the only person playing, you would set the average for battle score for the top amount of chrono crystals, which is interesting. But obviously, if everybody starts becoming good at TOP, then the requirements will become harder. Anyways, in the ranking rewards, this also changes in accordance to where everybody is. So that's why you can see it's very like weird specific numbers. It will start going up, and it's usually as long as you can get above 90 million, you should be fine. Now, important factors to note about Tournament Power. I'm not an expert. There's a lot of guys you can watch. Pomzel's Discord server is very good. Asdeek, he has a YouTube channel who's very good. Check out those guys if you want information on TOP. I'm not that guy. Trust me, pal. I just know enough to get my chrono crystals. You cannot die in this game mode. If you die, you will not meet the threshold because this game works on multipliers. Imagine playing, I don't know, there's Subway Surfers that has a multiplier. Temple Run, I believe, has a multiplier. We also have Guitar Hero that has a multiplier. You know, if you mess up that streak when you was going perfect, you're done. You're done. And that's how TOP works. So if you die, you're immediately going to be counted out and you're going to never be able to land in the top 10k. It just doesn't work. So if you need to heal, healing is preferable, but don't heal if you can make it to the top without, which is why you kind of need to know what you're doing so that you can get the max amount of points. Now, in regards to a team, you want to build just one good team that's good enough to get you to the top. So I use Regen and I have all of these guys Friendship 10. I believe Friendship 10 increases the HP of your units and the key recovery, which are two important factors in TOP. But regen just doesn't die. Naturally, they have good healing factors, which is why I use them. But a lot of other teams can do that as well. It's not only regen. And you just need to get a bunch of equipments that are good enough. So you see this car equipment, prioritize that. You're going to need what? So on the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to need 8 of those at least. And then the other equipments are just per your choice. They don't need to be Z plus or Z. Just make sure you have that car equipment at least. And you can max that one out. So you can see it maxes out at C. But just get 8 of those. That one is so important. It's easily the most important equipment. But that's all the base information I've got for you in TLP. When it comes to attacking and moving up the board, hey man, I don't know enough to give you the information that you need, which is why I recommended those guys. Good luck with TLP though. Every 2 weeks, 1,000 chrono crystals. It's easy, and you should be able to do it if you just watch one guide, and then you'll start grasping that it's quite simple, you know, even though you don't know what you're doing like me. Hyperdimensional co-op is another tedious task, but it's not as bad as it used to be. You guys won't know how bad it used to be back in the day when it first came out. So one thing you guys are used to, probably if you've been playing the game for at least a week, if you played co-op, the fact that you can rush at any moment. So even if you're mid animation of a strike art, you can rush. Back in the day, you couldn't be able to do that. You'd have to stand still and hope your opponent doesn't get hit or press a card at the time you want to rush with no communication. That's crazy. Then on top of that, right, we'd have to play 3 times a day to get our dailies. They've reduced it to 1. So you can get 3 times worth of dailies in one play, which is very, very useful. It's easy to play, man. Just play it once a day. The reason I advise that is, for one, you get the first time clear rewards, you know, you get chrono crystals for first time clear, and the challenges and whatnot, they're easier than they used to be as well. Dual impacts was a must for those challenges, and again, no communications, very tedious. But in the exchange shop, if I go to the dual coin exchange shop, there's chrono crystals usually at the bottom here. 1,500 for 100 chrono crystals. You buy that 3 times, that's 4,500. Very simple. I can even buy it right now, which I'm going to. Shout out the dual coin exchange shop. And yeah, you do that every single time co-op resets, the exchange shop resets. It's going to reset in another 14 days. I don't know why you wouldn't play it. I've gone ahead and done all of them right now, and it reset today. So this one here, we've got the mission plan, and always pick the Battle Lovers mission plan because it gives you the most chrono crystals. Now, if you guys don't know, I've been going free to play since October, so I've only been getting 500 chrono crystals out of this mission plan. But if you want to pay for it, if you want it to be paid to win even just a tiny bit, the mission plan is the most worthwhile thing to pay for in Dragon Ball Legends. You can get from 500, which is the base when you're not paying, all the way 1,500 extra, which is 2,000 in total. And that's every 2 weeks your mission plan resets. And they're very easy missions, you know, upgrade equipment, go on bark adventures and play PvP 50 times. And then you just need to be logging in and you'll get them done pretty easily. Very easy chrono crystals. Make sure you pick the Battle Lovers plan because it's the most CC. They try to say, hey, if you want more resources, no, just pick the Battle Lovers plan. Trust me, it's the most worthwhile thing. And then naturally in that same box, please do your dailies. I don't know why people don't do their dailies. At least now they made it so that your dailies don't reset if you miss a day. You know, you stay on the same stamp. Before, you had to be consistent for 14 days. And if you miss one day, on the 13th day, you don't get the big 500 chrono crystals. But the other benefit of logging in every single day and doing your dailies every single day, the login, you'll be able to get the login bonuses. They change every single day, but usually they have a campaign. And as you're logging in every single day, once you make it to the last day of the login bonus, you get chrono crystals. Naturally, they're rewarding you for just logging in. Then you're also getting rewarded for doing your dailies. Chrono crystals you're missing out on. And then you also get to pick 10 chrono crystals for logging in every single day. I don't know why you wouldn't do that, but you're complaining about chrono crystals, but you're not playing every day. Counterproductive, bro. Counterproductive. Make sure to do your dailies. This one here is kind of out of your hand, and it's called RNG. RNG stands for random number generator, which is a implication of luck. In the same way that you probably summoned and didn't get what you wanted, you were just unlucky. In the same way that you can get lucky in getting chrono crystals. Now there's 3 ways I'm specifically thinking of. The first one is treasure battle. If you play your treasure battle every single day, I did not mean to start that up. I'm not trying to make this a PvP video. If you go to check goals and the item list, you have a chance of getting one of these, and you might get the 1,000 chrono crystals. So every day you should just play it just in case. On the weekend, Legends weekend, not necessarily the weekend. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, they give out one adventure, and that adventure has a chance of dropping 100 chrono crystals. I think there's 3 drops, and every one of those drops, so there's 9 drops over the whole weekend. You can get 900 chrono crystals if you get 100 chrono crystal per drop. You're probably not going to get that, but you might get 100 chrono crystals at least once in the weekend. So that's nice. And then there's also those login DAIMA rolls that they've been doing. So you know when you see Goku mini and he spins the pole and then that thing, you know, that's RNG. Any login bonus like that, you don't know what you're going to get, but you might get something, and that might be the saving grace for you in terms of chrono crystals. But yeah, that's what we call RNG. It's not up to you, but you should just be memorable of those factors. The last one we have here is the shop. So if you want to spend chrono crystals, if you want to spend real life money on this game, hey, I'm just saying what I found is best if you do want to spend money. So I would advise that you buy the mission plan, which I already mentioned. You buy the premium. I think the first time you buy it ever, it's even on a discount, which is nice. The mission plan is very, very effective. I would also buy the digger robot. So there's the red and the silver digger robot. The silver digger robot gives you more chrono crystals in less time, which is a double benefit, versus the red digger robot, which gives you less chrono crystals in more time, which is a double negative. But of course, the silver one's more expensive, but it's actually more worthwhile in general. But depending on if you have more to spend or not, you know, go for it. Then we also have the 1000 chrono crystal monthly pack, the one that costs $7.99. You can see for me that one's also good. But then if you had money in the first place to buy those bigger ones, you wouldn't be asking for my advice anyways. But if you just wanted to spend a little bit in hopes that you can get what you want, those are what I would recommend. But hey, I'm not even a pay to win. I'm free to play at this current moment since October. I'm gunning for a year, and I'm gonna see how that's looking. It's tough though. It's tough. But that is going to make the end of the video. I put together every single way that I know that's available in Dragon Ball Legends to get chrono crystals. If you have any other ways that you can help out other people in the chat, just write it down in the comment section below. But good luck with all you guys' summons going for Goku, or if you're just saving using this guide to get more chrono crystals going towards the 7th anniversary. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.